Good evening. Hello Bubbius, hello Pluvium, hello Tabaha. Yeah, no, this book will not be explaining that, nor will anything ever explain that in the history of England, the future of England. That's just a purityism. Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is... oh god, sorry, I have to try and make sure I don't cough into the mic. This is gonna suck. Hi, what was I saying? Hope you're doing okay. YouTube, why are you complaining at me? The YouTube stream, the audio stream's current bitrate 0 is recommended. Can you guys hear me? It's just saying I have a current bitrate of 0 for my audio. What the hell? Can hear? Okay, well, I'm guessing that means my bitrate is probably more than 0 and it is lying to me. Very cool. Does it sound okay? Is it like is the quality fine? Also, yes, Puri stream real. Yeah, sorry about earlier. I was like, okay, I woke up, I was like, okay, I gotta practice some songs, and like I opened up my like playlist of like English songs that I can sing to some degree and started practicing, and just like a couple of songs in just started like just occasionally like wheezing, and then I was like, oh, that's fine, I'll just, you know, take a little bit of a break, get like drink something, and then, you know, carry on. Yeah, I did not improve. Didn't improve at all. So, yeah, sorry about that. Sucks, because I do really want to do a karaoke stream at some point, but it just seems like I need the planets to align. I just need, like, apparently everything, like, perfectly in sync to make it real, and I don't understand why, but whatever, I will persist eventually once I'm not ill. My phone sounds fine, seems okay. Okay, that's the important part, as long as it sounds fine, even if YouTube wants to lie to me about what the hell it's talking about. Nothing new there. Functional website, small indie company, please understand. Where's my Twitch chat? There we go. Yeah. Hi. I haven't done a reading stream in forever. That is a multitude of reasons, but also because I've been ill. The reason I'm still not reading 1984 is because I still don't feel like my voice sounds 100% back to normal, especially with the like wheezy cough, whatever. And when I compile it all into one, I don't want. Yeah, I already am gonna have to re-record like a whole bunch of stuff when I come to publish this, I would rather do that less. Please. So, yeah, no 1984 today. But I found... I was looking for a certain book, actually. My mum gave me a book for Christmas, I think. That was like a compilation of short stories, but I can't find it, and it's like midnight. Or it's 1 AM now, but when I was looking for it, it was midnight. But what I did find was a really old book. This must be at least 20 years old. Well, it's not really old. I mean, I think it was first published in 1994. Yeah, 1994. But I received it at some point in the early 2000s, I would assume. Ancient Year of 1994. The stories in here are much older than 1994, because it's fairy tales. So it's, they don't exactly say when they're from, but that's because I don't think we know, like, the source date of a lot of fairy tales, since they were, obviously in spoken form before written form, so. These might... I don't know if there'll be, like, abridged versions that are, like, meant for children, but it's fine. It's kind of nostalgic to be holding this book. The pages are so yellow now, just because they've been sat in the loft of my dad's attic for God knows how long. Yeah, it's got classics like Jack and the Beanstalk. Wait, holy shit! Oh my god, maybe this book does have something that was gonna explain the ketchup and vinegar. There's actually a story called Mr. and Mrs. Vinegar in here. What? Yo, vinegar law real. Anyway, also, yeah, like Little Red Riding Hood. Stuff like that. I'm not going to read everything in here, that would be ridiculous. This is an entire book made of lots of stories. And I'm just gonna like read some of them from the beginning of the book, and then we'll just see how far we get before my voice is like, hey, what if you just keeled over? And I'm gonna be like, oh, I don't want to do that. And it's gonna be like, well, you don't have a choice. Does this book have the story of the Ryan Gosling? But you're gonna have to word it in a way that isn't bizarre, that is actually supposed to be interpreted by humans. Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I don't know how to interpret that. You have to. There's a bear who's like the famous actor Ryan Gosling in that scene where he stares at Pink Woman. I mean, there's the story of the three bears, but I think that's like Goldilocks. I don't think that's what you're talking about. Instead of a giant pink woman, it's a cat, question mark, not unlike yourself. This is a joke, by the way, the bear— oh. Man, I thought you were being real. I thought you were actually asking— man. No, this book does not have the story of the Ryan Gosling bear. Thank you. Shakes my head. I changed my rigging slightly, and so it kind of feels a little bit weird. I don't know if I like it. I feel like I hit the edge of like my movement too fast, but whatever, it's fine. Oh yeah, speaking of rigging, actually, I got my first work in progress from the person rigging my half true form, and it looks so freaking cool. Honestly, I'm so happy. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but I'm elated. I am positively elated at the results so far, and it's still there's some parts that like weren't connected when in the work in progress. But that's the joy of work in progresses. It's a work in progress. It's YouTube. Wait, what the heck? Hey, Numbers, aren't you normally streaming at this time? But yeah, it's YouTube Fury. Real. Hi, Numbers. I'm confused. Delayed for. I see. Understandable. Man. Collabs. Who's heard of them? Not me. The answer is definitely I've never heard of it. I don't know what that is. Alright, play VM. Good grief. So that's a little hypocritical sounding of you. Oh yeah, how's the audio, by the way? Is the sound of my voice okay? Is the, like, I know I asked about like audio quality earlier, but is like the volume levels okay? Like, is the music too loud or too quiet, or am I too loud or too quiet? And if I'm too quiet, I can't do anything about that, so don't say I'm too quiet. Can't do anything about that. Voice is good, music could be slightly lower. Okie dokie, I will. That didn't work. We'll take it 2 ticks down. That doesn't sound any different to me. That doesn't sound any quieter. Okay, that does. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. If I need to turn it down more, let me know and I will. I don't know how sound works, I say. Well, that is like a core part of my job. But to be fair, I think the core part of my job also has me put on headphones where I can actually hear all the outputs together. Meanwhile, I can't actually hear what you guys hear, because that would involve hearing my own voice. And if I heard my own voice, well, I wouldn't be able to stream, I can say that much. Hearing my own voice puts me off so much. Whenever I hear an echo of myself, I'm like, oh god, what's that? Who's that? Where is that cat? Get him out of here. Anyway. Can we get used to it after a while? Probably. It's just, it's very, like, putting aside the actual, like, how hearing your own voice is kind of off-putting, hearing, like, an echo of yourself, like, half a second after you're speaking words, I always find it really difficult to, like, keep a flow of talking while hearing myself back, because I feel like I'm interrupting myself. I don't know, that's kind of a weird way to put it, but that's what it feels like. So I just kind of I end up with this very, like, stunted way of speaking whenever I can hear myself. That's why I use text-to-speak and don't talk easy. Text-to-speak takes me so long, though. It takes me forever. Needs minimum delay. Yeah, it needs to basically, like, you hear it at the exact same time that you hear your own voice in your head. How? Elaborate. How, what? Who, why, where, when, what? So messed up how is the only question word that doesn't begin with the letter W. I've seen you do typing challenges. Yeah, and I'm like, average. Now you can type on par or surpass your verbal speed. I cannot type surpass my verbal speed. Definitely not. Also, the thing is about streaming is that when I speak verbally, I'm not thinking about what I say, I'm just saying words. They come out of my mouth as I think of them. It's like, no, there's no, okay, here are the words I'm thinking, now let me put them down. Like, when I type, I'm like, okay, what are my words? Okay, let me type the words out. Okay, is that good? Okay, yes, approve. There's a process that is much slower. No, my verbal speed is definitely faster than my typing speed for sure. Like, no doubt about it. That's not even a competition to me. More so in the past, I used to be way faster a speaker. I used to speak really fast, to the point that people wouldn't understand me. But I on purposely slowed myself down over the years because I was kind of sick of people not being able to understand me. And my nan would always tell me off for mumbling. She'd be like, Purity, stop mumbling, I can't hear a word you're saying. It's like, sorry. Words. Anyway, I don't know how long each of these stories is gonna be, but I'm gonna follow the same kind of principle that I usually do with my other, like reading chapters and stuff, so we'll see how it goes. We should have done the I've never, no, I don't think that's a real timeline at all, anywhere. Shouldn't a British M&M to Maury's American at? I'm good, actually. I'm fine. I don't need that. Sorry, you can hear me clicking. I'm just trying to like move my screen around so I can see my chat. Plural. Because I try and keep my Twitch chat open at the same time as my YouTube chat, since I know my YouTube chat like shadow bans people. I mean, I know my Twitch chat also shadow bans people. It's kind of like, but normally if someone's shadow banned in one, they're not shadow banned in the other, which is weird. I don't get it, but whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I'll read out the first one. We'll see how it goes, and then if I can't read, then YouTube was the filter. Yeah, I'm on live chat. I always switch to live chat because yeah, top chat does really filter out some strange stuff. I don't really understand YouTube's filters, and I never will. I still remember the time I tried to make my title of my World of Warcraft stream something like, I'm gonna play until I die, because I was playing hardcore mode. So when you die, you can't play your character anymore. But YouTube was like, nah, you can't put die in the title. You can't mention death. It's like, oh, okay, you realize that's like a core thing in a lot of video games, but alright, okay, sorry for mentioning death. My bad. Sorry, it will happen again. Anyway. Sorry if I cough right into your ears. Sorry if the ASMR experience for today is me giving you COVID. You're welcome. Playing hardcore until I what? What does that mean? I know what it means, but what I don't get what that's referencing. You can't just wish death upon people. Yes, I can. Anyway. Cat gives you good ASMR, let's go! I mean, there is a market for weird ASMR at the moment, but I don't know if I really want to tap into that. Anyway, if anyone needs to go get some sleep, get some food or drink or anything like that during stream, please do feel free. There shouldn't be any loud sounds during this stream, so you should be free to head to sleep. I also do not have the ability to redirect, so there will not be a raid at the end of stream to wake you up, so you are safe to pass out. If you are working, I hope the rest of your shift goes well. If you are currently studying or doing some kind of schooling stuff, I do hope that goes very well and with as minimum stress as possible. Yeah, and let me know if I need to adjust any. Let me know if I need to adjust any volumes, anything. But then I will answer anything typed in chat once I have finished the first story. St. George of Merry England. In the darksome depths of a thick forest lived Caleb, the fell enchantress. Terrible were her deeds, and few there were who had the hardihood to sound the brazen trumpet which hung over the iron gate which barred the way to the abode of witchcraft. Terrible were the deeds of Caleb, but above all things she delighted in carrying off new-born innocent babes and putting them to death. And this, doubtless, she meant to be the fate of the infant son of the Earl of Coventry, who long, long years ago was Lord High Steward of England. Certain it is that the babe's father being absent, and his mother dying at his birth, the wicked Caleb, with spells and charms, managed to steal the child from his careless nurses. But the babe was marked from the first for doughty deeds, for on his breast was pictured the living image of a dragon. On his right hand was a blood-red cross, and on his left leg showed the golden garter. And these signs so affected Caleb, the fell enchantress, that she stayed her hand, and the child growing daily in beauty and stature, he became to her as the apple of her eye. Now, when twice 7 years had passed, the boy began to thirst for honourable adventures, though the wicked enchantress wished to keep him as her own. But he, seeking glory, utterly disdained so wicked a creature. Thus she sought to bribe him. And one day, taking him by the hand, she led him to a brazen castle, and showed him 6 brave knights, prisoners therein. Then said she, Lo, these be the 6 champions of Christendom. Thou shalt be the 7th, and thy name shall be St. George of Merry England, if thou wilt stay with me. But he would not. Then she led him into a magnificent stable, where stood 7 of the most beautiful steeds ever seen. 6 of these, said she, belong to the 6 champions. The 7th and the best, the swiftest and the most powerful in the world, whose name is Bayard, will I bestow on thee, if thou wilt stay with me. But he would not. Then she took him to the armoury, and with her own hand buckled on the corselet of purest steel, and laced on a helmet inlaid with gold. Then, taking a mighty falchion, she gave it into his hand, and said, This armour which none can pierce, this sword called Ascalon, which will hew in sunder all it touches, are thine. Surely now thou wilt stop with me. But he would not. Then she bribed him with her own magic wand, thus giving him power over all things in that enchanted land, saying, Surely now wilt thou remain here? But he, taking the wand, struck it with a mighty rock that stood by, and lo, it opened, and laid in view a wide cave, garnished with the bodies of a vast number of innocent newborn infants, whom the wicked enchantress had murdered. Thus, using her power, he bade the sorceress lead the way into the place of horror, and when she had entered, he raised the magic wand yet again, and smote the rock, and lo, it closed for ever, and the sorceress was left to bellow forth her lamentable complaints to the senseless stones. Thus was St. George freed from the enchanted land, and taking with him the 6 other champions of Christendom on their steeds, he mounted Bayard and rode to the city of Coventry. Here for 9 months they abode, exercising themselves in all feats of arms. So when spring returned, they set forth, as knights errant, to seek for foreign adventure. and for 30 days and 30 nights they rode on, until, at the beginning of a new month, they came to a great wide plain. Now in the centre of this plain, where 7 several ways met, there stood a great brazen pillar, and here, with high heart and courage, they bade each other farewell, and each took a separate road. Hence St. George, on his charger Bayard, rode till he reached the seashore, where lay a good ship bound for the land of Egypt. Taking passage in her, after long journeying he arrived in that land, when the silent wings of night were outspread, and the darkness brooded on all things. Here, coming to a poor hermitage, he begged a night's lodging, on which the hermit replied, Sir Knight of merry England, for I see her arms graven on thy breastplate, thou hast come hither in an ill time, when those alive are scarcely able to bury the dead, by reason of the cruel devastation waged by a terrible dragon, who ranges up and down the country by day and by night. If he not have an innocent maiden to devour each day, he sends a mortal plague amongst the people. And this has not ceased for 24 years, and so there is left throughout the land but one maiden, the beautiful Sabia, daughter to the king. And tomorrow must she die, unless some brave knight will slay the monster. To such will the king give his daughter in marriage, and the crown of Egypt in due time. For crowns I care not, said St. George boldly, but the beauteous maiden shall not die. I will slay the monster. So, rising at dawn of day, he buckled on his armour, laced his helmet, and with the falchion Ascalon in his hand, bestrode Bayard, and rode into the valley of the dragon. Now on the way he met a procession of old women, weeping and wailing, and in their midst the most beauteous damsel he had ever seen. Moved by compassion he dismounted, and bowing low before the lady, entreated her to return to her father's palace, since he was about to kill the dreaded dragon. Whereupon the beautiful Sabia, thanking him with smiles and tears, did as he requested, and he, remounting, rode on his emprise. Now no sooner did the dragon catch sight of the brave knight than its leathern throat sent out a sound more terrible than thunder, and weltering from its hideous den, it spread its burning wings and prepared to assail its foe. Its size and appearance might well have made the stoutest heart tremble. From shoulder to tail ran full 40 feet. Its body was covered with silver scales, its belly was as gold, and through its flaming wings the blood ran thick and red. So fierce was its onset that at the very first encounter the knight was nigh felled to the ground, but recovering himself he gave the dragon such a thrust with his spear that the latter shivered to 1,000 pieces, whereupon the furious monster smote him so violently with its tail that both the horse and rider were overthrown. Now by great good chance St. George was flung under the shade of a flowering orange tree, whose fragrance hath this virtue in it, that no poisonous beast dare come within the compass of its branches. So there the valiant knight had time to recover his senses, until with eager courage he rose, and rushing to the combat, smote the burning dragon on his burnished belly with his trusty sword Ascalon, and thereinafter spouted out such black venom, falling on the armour of the knight, burst it in twain. And ill might it have fared with St. George of merry England but for the orange tree, which once again gave him shelter under its branches, where, seeing the issue of the fight was in the hands of the Most High, he knelt and prayed that such strength of body should be given to him as would enable him to prevail. Then, with a bold and courageous heart, he advanced again, and smote the fiery dragon under one of his flaming wings, so that the weapon pierced the heart, and all the grass around turned crimson with the blood that flowed from the dying monster. So St. George of England cut off the dreadful head, and hanging it on a truncheon made of the spear which at the beginning of the combat had shivered against the beast's scaly back, he mounted his steed Bayard and proceeded to the palace of the king. Now the king's name was Ptolemy, and when he saw that the dreaded dragon was indeed slain, he gave orders for the city to be decorated. And he sent a golden chariot with wheels of ebony and cushions of silk to bring St. George to the palace, and commanded 100 nobles dressed in crimson velvet, and mounted on milk-white steeds, richly caparisoned, to escort him thither with all honour, while musicians walked before and after, filling the air with sweetest sounds. Now the beautiful Sabia herself washed and dressed the weary knight's wounds, and gave him in sign of betrothal a diamond ring of purest water. Then, after he had been invested by the king with the golden spurs of knighthood, and had been magnificently feasted, he retired to rest his weariness, while the beautiful Sabia from her balcony lulled him to sleep with her golden lute. So all seemed happiness, but alas, dark misfortune was at hand. Almidor, the Black King of Morocco, who had long wooed the Princess Sabia in vain, without having the courage to defend her, seeing that the maiden had given her whole heart to her champion, resolved to compass his destruction. So going to King Ptolemy, he told him what was perchance true, namely that the beauteous Sabia had promised St. George to become Christian and follow him to England. Now the thought of this so enraged the king that, forgetting his debt of honour, he determined on an act of basest treachery. Telling St. George that his love and loyalty needed further trial, he entrusted him with a message to the king of Persia, and forbade him either to take with him his horse Bayard or his sword Ascalon, nor would he even allow him to say farewell to his beloved Sabia. St. George then set forth sorrowfully, and surmounting many dangers, reached the court of the king of Persia in safety. But what was his anger to find that the secret missive he bore contained nothing but an earnest request to put the bearer of it to death. But he was helpless, and when sentence had been passed upon him, he was thrown into a loathly dungeon, clothed in base and servile weeds, and his arms strongly fettered up to iron bolts, while the roars of the 2 hungry lions who were to devour him ere long deafened his ears. Now his rage and fury at this black treachery was such that it gave him strength, and with mighty effort he drew the staples that held his fetters. So being part free, he tore his long locks of amber-coloured hair from his head, and wound them round his arms instead of gauntlets. So prepared, he rushed on the lions when they were let loose upon him, and thrusting his arms down their throats choked them, and thereafter, tearing out their very hearts, held them up in triumph to the gaolers who stood by trembling in fear. After this, the king of Persia gave up the hopes of putting St. George to death, and doubling the bars of the dungeon, left him to languish therein. And there the unhappy knight remained for 7 long years, his thoughts full of his lost princess, his only companions rats and mice and creeping worms, his only food and drink bread made of the coarsest bran and dirty water. At last one day, in a dark corner of his dungeon, he found one of the iron staples he had drawn in his rage and fury. It was half consumed with rust, yet it was sufficient in his hands to open a passage through the walls of his cell into the king's garden. It was the time of night, when all things are silent, but St. George, listening, heard the voices of grooms in the stables. Entering, he found 2 grooms furnishing forth a horse against some business. Whereupon, taking the staple with which he had redeemed himself from prison, he slew the grooms, and mounting the palfrey, rode boldly to the city gates, where he told the watchman at the bronze tower that St. George having escaped from the dungeon, he was in hot pursuit of him. Whereupon the gates were thrown open, and St. George, clapping spurs to his horse, found himself safe from pursuit before the first red beams of the sun shot up into the sky. Now ere long, being most famished with hunger, he saw a tower set on a high cliff, and riding thitherward, determined to ask for food. But as he neared the castle, he saw a beauteous damsel in blue and gold robes, seated disconsolate at a window. Whereupon dismounting, he called aloud to her, "Lady, if thou hast sorrow of thine own, secure also one in distress, and give me, a Christian knight, now almost famished, one meal's meat." To which she replied quickly, "Sir knight, fly quickly an thou canst, for my lord is a mighty giant, a follower of Mohammed, who has sworn to destroy all Christians." Hearing this, St. George laughed loud and long. "Go tell him then, fair dame," he cried, "that a Christian knight waits at his door, and will either satisfy his wants within his castle, or slay the owner thereof." Now the giant no sooner heard this valiant challenge than he rushed forth to the combat, armed with the hugest crowbar of iron. He was a monstrous giant, deformed, with a huge head, bristled like any boar's, with hot glaring eyes and a mouth equalling a tiger's. At first sight of him, St. George gave himself up for lost, not so much for fear, but for hunger and faintness of body. Still, commending himself to the Most High, he also rushed to the combat, with such poor arms as he had, and with many a regret for the loss of his magic sword Ascalon. So they fought till noon, when, just as the champion's strength was nigh finished, the giant stumbled on the root of a tree, and St. George, taking his chance, ran him through the midrib, so that he gasped and died. After which St. George entered the tower, whereat the beautiful lady, freed from her terrible lord, set before him all manner of delicacies and pure wine, with which he sufficed his hunger, rested his weary body, and refreshed his horse. So, leaving the tower in the hands of the grateful lady, he went on his way, coming ere long to the enchanted garden of the necromancer Ormadine, where, embedded in the living rock, he saw a magic sword, the like of which for the beauty he had never seen, the belt being beset with jasper and sapphire stones, while the pommel was a globe of the purest silver chased in gold with these verses: "My magic will remain most firmly bound, till that a knight from the far north be found, to pull this sword from out its bed of stone. Lo, when he comes, wise Ormadine must fall. Farewell, my magic power, my spell, my all." Seeing this, St. George put his hand to the hilt, thinking to essay pulling it out by strength. But lo, he drew it out with as much ease as though it had been hung by a thread of untwisted silk. And immediately every door in the enchanted garden flew open, and the magician Ormadine appeared, his hair standing on end, and he, after kissing the hand of the champion, led him to a cave where a young man wrapped in a sheet of gold lay sleeping, lulled by the songs of 4 beautiful maidens. "The knight whom thou seest here," said the necromancer in a hollow voice, "is none other than thy brother-in-arms, the Christian champion St. David of Wales. He also attempted to draw my sword but failed. Him hast thou delivered from my enchantments, since they come to an end." Now as he spoke, came such a rattling of the skies, such a lumbering of the earth as never was, and in the twinkling of the eye, the enchanted garden and all in it vanished from view, leaving the champion of Wales roused from his 7 years' sleep, giving thanks to St. George, who greeted his ancient comrade heartily. After this, St. George of Merry England travelled far and travelled fast, with many adventures by the way, to Egypt, where he had left his beloved Princess Sabia. But, learning to his great grief and horror from the same hermit he had met on first landing, that, Despite her denials, her father, King Ptolemy, had consented to Almidor, the Black King of Morocco, carrying her off as one of his many wives. He turned his steps towards Tripoli, the capital of Morocco, for he was determined at all costs to gain a sight of the dear princess, from whom he had been so cruelly rent. To this end he borrowed an old cloak of the hermit, and disguised as a beggar, gained admittance to the gate of the women's palace, where gathered together on their knees were many others, poor, frail, infirm. But when asked them wherethou they knelt, they answered, "Because good Queen Sabia secures us, so that we may pray for the safety of St. George of England, to whom she gave her heart." Now when St. George heard this, his own heart was like to break for very joy, for he could scarce keep on his knees, when, lovely as ever, but with her face pale and sad and wan from long distress, the Princess Sabia appeared clothed in deep mourning. In silence she handed an alm to each beggar in turn, but when she came to St. George, she started and laid her hand on her heart. Then she said softly, "Rise up, sir beggar. Thou art too like the one who rescued me from death for it to be meet for thee to kneel before me." Then St. George, rising and bowing low, said quietly, "Peerless lady, lo, I am that very knight to whom thou didst consent to give this." And with this he slipped the diamond ring she had given him on her finger. But she did not look at it, but at him, with love in her eyes. Then he told her of her father's base treachery, and Almidor's part in it, so that her anger grew hot and she cried, "Waste no more time in talk. I remain no longer in this detested place. Ere Almidor returns from hunting, we shall have escaped." So she led Sir George to the armory, where he found his trusty sword Ascalon, and to the stable, where his swift steed Bayard stood ready caparisoned. Then, when her brave knight had mounted, and she, putting her foot on his, had leapt like a bird behind him, St. George touched the proud beast lightly with his spurs, and like an arrow from a bow, Bayard carried them together over city and plain, through woods and forests, across rivers and mountains, and through valleys, until they reached the land of Greece. And here they found the whole country in festivity over the marriage of the king. Now amongst other entertainments was a grand tournament, the news of which had spread through the world. And to it had come all the other 6 champions of the Christendom, and so St. George arriving made the 7th. And many of the champions had with them the fair lady that they had rescued. St. Denis of France brought beautiful Eglantine, St. James of Spain sweet Celestine, while noble Rosalind accompanied St. Anthony of Italy. St. David of Wales, after his 7 years' sleep, came full of eager desire for adventure. St. Patrick of Ireland, ever courteous, brought all the 6 swan princesses who in gratitude had been seeking their deliverer, St. Andrew of Scotland, since he, leaving all things worldly, had chosen to fight for the faith. And so these brave knights and fair ladies joined in the joyful jousting, and each of the 7 champions was in turn chief challenger for a day. Now in the midst of all the merriment appeared 100 heralds from 100 different parts of the Paynim world, declaring war to the death against all Christians. Whereupon the 7 champions agreed that each should return to his native land to place his dearest lady in safety, and gather together an army, and that 6 months later they should meet, and joining as one legion, go forth to fight for Christendom. And so this was done. Having chosen St. George as chief general, they marched on Tripoli with the cry, "For Christendom we fight, for Christendom we die." Here the wicked Almidor fell in single combat with St. George, to the great delight of his subjects, who begged the champion to be king in his stead. To this he consented, and after he was crowned, the Christian host went towards Egypt, where King Ptolemy, in despair of vanquishing such stalwart knights, threw himself down from the battlements of the palace and was killed. Whereupon, in recognition of the chivalry and courtesy of the Christian champions, the nobles offered the crown to one of their number, and they with acclaim chose St. George of Merry England. Thence the Christian hosts journeyed to Persia, where a fearsome battle raged for 7 days, during which 200,000 pagans were slain, beside many who were drowned in attempting to escape. Thus they were compelled to yield, and the emperor himself happening into the hands of St. George, and 6 other viceroys into the hands of the 6 other champions. And these were most mercifully and honourably entreated, after they had promised to govern Persia after Christian rules. Now the emperor, having a heart fraught with despite and tyranny, conspired against them, and engaged a wicked wizard named Osmond to so beguile 6 of the champions that gave up fighting, and lived an easy, slothful life. But St. George would not be beguiled, and neither would he consent to the enchantment of his brothers. And he so roused them that they never sheathed their swords, nor unlocked their armour till the wicked emperor and his viceroys were thrown into that very dungeon which St. George had languished for 7 long years. Whereupon St. George took upon himself the governments of Persia, and gave the 6 other champions the 6 viceroyalties. So attired in a beautiful green robe, richly embroidered, over which was flung a scarlet mantle bordered with white fur and decorated with ornaments of pure gold, he took his seat on the throne, which was supported by elephants of translucent alabaster. And the heralds at arms, amid the shouting of the people, cried, "Long live St. George of Merry England, Emperor of Morocco, King of Egypt and Sultan of Persia." Now, after that he had established good and just laws, to the effect that innumerable companies of pagans flocked to become Christians, St. George, leaving the government in the hands of his trusted counsellors, took truce with the world and returned to England, where, at Coventry, he lived for many years with the Egyptian princess Sabia, who bore him 3 stalwart sons. So here endeth the tale of St. George of Merry England, first and greatest of the 7 champions. I wasn't expecting so much of that to be in kind of Old English, like merged with modern English, but sure, okay. It was his backstory. Everyone knows that all great heroes have to have an evil witch that could have killed him involved. Also, hello Circuit, hello Mark, hello Pydots. To reach down someone's throat, and it was a lion. It was gonna kill him. Oh god, not that bloody dress. Mohammed Camo didn't expect that. Well, it's cause it's when this was written, obviously St. George. Doesn't this tale come from kind of around the same time as like the Crusades and stuff? Although I'm kind of confused about supposed pagans in Persia. I didn't think that's where they were, but this is a work of fiction. So comfy it's hard to understand any of the words. Compliment, I'm glad that's a compliment. British people had Beowulf. Why did they need to write elaborate fanfiction about a random Roman soldier who converted and died? Because that's what they did. That's what they did. Wasn't able to get much of the narrative. Heard a lot of violence though. So many war crimes. Yeah, absolutely. That's just how stuff was back then. Being fiction, I know St. George personally. He's a great guy. What? What? Pagans a general term for— oh really? I've never considered that, to be honest, but that would make sense. The same way as I guess the Romans used to call anyone who wasn't Roman a barbarian, I guess anyone who wasn't a Christian was a pagan. Did you not know that? No. I thought pagans was a very specific group of people. Could be wrong, have been used that way. It would make sense in this case. The more war crimes, the greater the hero. Yeah, well, actually, technically at the time, hold on, what year was St. George supposedly from? St. George, yeah. Thought to have died in 300. So I don't think we had war crimes. I don't think we had laid out, like, specifically what war crimes were back in the 3rd century. War crimes were a modern social construct. Geneva Convention was a bit later than the year 300, yeah. So yeah, he couldn't have known he was committing war crimes. To be fair, you have to understand, he had a troubled youth. He was literally raised by a witch that killed children. Who apparently... He was also born with he was born with tattoos. Like, the 3rd paragraph, on his chest he has a living image of a dragon. So like some kind of like magic moving dragon tattoo. On his right hand he has a cross. And on his left leg he had a golden garter. Like, he was just born with tattoos. In any case, I did mean Michael naturally sleepy. Well, I hope you can get some rest. No, the point of these, me doing these reading streams is not necessarily to be like, here's the story, but it is supposed to be like, hey, you know, if you want to get some sleep, here's some, I would say chill, but honestly, I don't know if that counts as chill. Lots of people died. Lots of people just died in this story. There was a lot of death. Beowulf did this story better. St. George is kind of like proto-anime, ropes off a bunch of better stories and puts them together, makes you question. Yeah, I mean the sword from the stone definitely surprised me, and the seven knights, you know. Like when he used his own hair as a gauntlet, yeah, and also how he left the city, like just without anything. Like, did he steal the groomer's clothes? Like, surely... Also, how did he still have the ring? How did he still have the diamond ring? The valuable ring after spending 7 years in a dungeon? Like, if they stripped him of all his armor and everything, why did they let him keep his very valuable ring? Being born with tattoos is cool and all, until born with a permanent Garfield Monday tattoo, that would be rough. Listen to history and paleontology podcasts while sleeping with this. You know what? That's fair. That's, yeah, those would be about death. This whole story is about a real guy who died and got executed. You mean St. George, or do you mean Beowulf? There's actually drawings in here as well. There's like a little drawing of the scene where Queen Sabia is like looking at all the beggars, and like all of them are drawn, all of the beggars are drawn like really like wrinkled and like old and ragged, and then St. George is just there, like he's wearing like a tattered robe, but then he's got like beautiful curly locks and like a whole like... To say that he spent 7 years in a dungeon, like starving to death, he's got like some like really like square, like a really square solid face in this drawing. God damn. Soy deck in the chat of ancient concepts, so real. Does it actually say? Yeah, no, the drawings were made specifically for this book, but it doesn't say when they were drawn specifically. But yeah, it's interesting. This book is definitely written in like a mix of like Old English and Modern English. There's definitely some grammar stuff that's like really interesting. Like where was it that I was... Like number one, the word order in some places is like a little strange. I won't say, oh well it was kind of the Old English that made me stutter over some lines, because I do that no matter how good the English is, because I just can't read. But like there were just... Where was that line? There was like a line where like the word happiness was in like a weird place. Also, I don't know what the word caparisoned means, or if I'm even saying that correctly. I've never heard that word before. I'm going to Google that, because I don't know what it is. Caparisoned. To be decked out in rich decorative coverings. Apparently it's not archaic. That is actually still a word that you could use today. Specifically, it means ornamental coverings for horses and potentially for elephants. So probably other animals as well. I think about the skeptic origin of a hero's tale. I'm pretty sure Beowulf was written in order to legitimize some a lot of stories were written for a very specific purpose, a very specific intent. Either whether that was just to make your particular ideals sound cooler or more powerful or more legitimate in the eyes of the Almighty. I do find it interesting. He actually very specifically, the word God is not used at all. Specifically, the wording they use every single time is on high or something. Where is it? Most high, most high. In the hands of the Most High. It's interesting how things change when you get all the good catcher armor. Imagine a rule telling the accurate biographical writer to add more dragons to the book. I'd do it. If I ever become legendary, I'm adding demons, I'm adding dragons, I'm adding lots of demons. Like I think I could blame a lot of my problems on demons as like explanations for stuff. Like, oh, why did Purity end up dropping out of I don't know how to make college sound cooler. Of the most prestigious education. It was demons. It was demons. Demons made me drop out. I didn't drop out. They hung me from a tower for 300 days and 300 nights, and I was given no choice. You get a Wikipedia page you can go, wild, let's go. If I ask for one thing, are you writing self-fanfiction now? Yes. If I ever die, which isn't likely, by the way, I want you guys to make up the most stupid, fantastical bullshit blaming all your problems on demons is some real Middle Ages cope. I respect it, okay? I think blaming your problems on demons is fine. I think blaming your problems on demons is fine. They don't care. Demons don't mind. They're demons. They'll take the credit. And be like, yeah, hell yeah, bro. I wasn't involved, but yeah, fuck it. I'll put that on my resume. When are we getting the self-insert narrative fix? Never. Demons can cause both your chickens not to lay enough eggs for the winter and art block. It's true! There are demons in my brain! That's what the brain worms are. The worms, they're demons! So once the demons are cute. Some demons are cute. I don't want to blame the cute demons though. An ancient takes the role of occupied by some. Yeah, no, see, I want to blame literal demons from hell. Like, actual mystical entities. Okay, I don't want any mortal taking credit, okay? Okay, let's have a look. What time is it? That took longer to read than I was expecting. Demons aren't from hell, by the way. I mean, that depends what type of demon you're talking about. Why? Go on, Pluvium. Go on. Give us the plov opinion on the source of demons. I would have gone out with my crush if only the demons hadn't been— Exactly! Exactly! It was the demons! Wasn't you. The social anxiety wasn't your fault. Demons are from heaven. They will eventually end up in hell if you interpret the lake of fire as that. So I know there's like, I don't think it's biblical canon, but I know like, oh, you know, like what— Lucifer like rebelled against God and was cast from heaven, and all of the demons are, you know, the angels who fought with him. But like, surely, like, that can't be it, right? They had to have made like more demons when they were down there, or else like they just would've— there's just too many humans. We're getting into it. Are we? I've never been. The only thing I've ever seen from that is the man-hand car hook door. Let's see. Oh, and who was phone? If your dad's dead, who was phone? Where with humans and all those Nephilim or whatever got wiped out by the flood? I gotta say, I'm not very up to date on my biblical canon. Sorry, I wasn't there. When the demons hadn't forced me to eat the leftovers, she specifically told me how to eat. Demonic temptation. Yeah, that's greed, baby. That's greed. Demons. Blame demons. Anything wrong happens, it was demons. Anyway, enough of demons. Enough of demons talk. Let's find another story. Actually, interesting that Genesis was originally about his statement. That makes sense. That would— I mean, I've never gone really deep into like theology. It is something interesting, but it seems like such a hot topic, like kind of a dangerous topic. Like, it's one of those things where everyone thinks they're right about it, and it's like, oh, I don't want to get into that. I'm good, I'm fine. So wait, demons were legitimately explained as a way to justify oneself as pure despite having sinned within a religious context. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, sin is blamed on demons, temptation on the original sin is all the frickin' snake's fault. Supposedly. Theology is interesting if you don't believe it. The Bible has a long and interesting... It does! It does! I don't really like talking about religion very much on my streams because of... Obviously, it is a hot topic. It is a controversial topic. But it is very fascinating. He who is without sin. Actually, I don't know. I can't speak about sin. I'm corrupted after all. I have visible, tangible evidence of me not being of past sin. I wonder if VTubers make good teachers like in a primary school. I don't know. Maybe. Isn't there one VTuber who does like a lot of like toy reviews and stuff? I don't know how kids react to her. I guess it's kind of the same as a cartoon, right? But I think, isn't it hard to like keep kids' attention spans? You're a sinner? Name one sin. Being real hungry. Being really, real hungry is a sin. You just have to use Tumblr, that's all you need. Hey, Tumblr's got nothing to do with my sins, okay? Tumblr, leave Tumblr out of this. Chuny eye jump scare? Yes, sorry for my chuny corrupted eye. I was expecting it to be cured by now, but apparently not. Okay, let me see if I can find another story in here that I want to read. Maybe one that is less long. Sure. I don't know what this one is about. I don't even know this fairy tale. Never heard of this in my life. It's the thing, it's hard to keeps attention to so if they had to watch an anime girl teaching instead of a flesh person, I think you might be onto something. Maybe? Personally, I couldn't teach kids. I don't really know how to talk to children. I didn't even know how to talk to children when I was a child, I think is a big problem for me in my communication with children. I was one of those kids who, like, exclusively only really wanted to interact with, like, adults. Like, because I just didn't understand children. I was bullied a lot in schools, and adults didn't bully me, so I was like... Yeah, I was one of the kids that everyone used to be like, oh my god, Purity, you're so mature for your age, you're so quiet and well behaved, and it's like, yeah, it's because I fucking hate other kids. And they hate me too. Just stay skibbity toilet until they run away. I think I have kind of a grasp on when someone's like legitimately using Zoomer slang. I know that some people are just like, I'm gonna stick all the Zoomer slang words together and hee hee, it's gonna be so funny. But I think I can actually understand what Zoomers are saying now. To some extent. Zoom slang user, yeah, but sometimes you just put words together without actually having any legitimate meaning behind your words. You're just like, hee hee. Funny word. I try to get into grown-up stuff and realize how, yeah, it's interesting. It's, like, looking back, like, I was absolutely, like, not, like, mature. I just was well behaved, and maybe they should have said that instead of mature. Everything I always say has meaning. Alright, I want, by the end of the stream, I want a full explanation on every single time you've ever said the word Chungus 100 and what the emotional implications of that was every single time. With citations. Thank you. Please don't actually do that. I won't read it. I'm too sleepy. Mature equals quiet. Yeah, it does. It really does when you're growing up. Man. It's just an interesting performance art exhibit? Wait. What do you mean? But yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about going into teaching of any sort. I do remember, I guess I technically did do some teaching. When I worked at the video game arcade that I worked at, we would occasionally have schools come in, and I would be the assistant for... Actually, no, they even made me start actually running the classes sometimes. We had to teach normally around like 10-year-olds, 11-year-olds about electric conductivity. But I think it's easier to teach some things than it is others. So electric conductivity is very easy to teach because the method that we use was, like if you use conductive materials and put them into something non-conductive, like using like plastic and stuff, you can make a game controller. And we made like functional video game controllers. So it wasn't so bad. It was still kind of difficult to teach. Like explain, like try. It's hard to know like what you can explain, because I think most people, like when you're an adult, you kind of understand. You understand that things conduct electricity. You might even know like the scientific reason behind the way that like molecules interact and electrons move and but like how do you explain that to a 10-year-old in a way that they don't even know? Do they even know what an electron is? When do children learn what electrons are? How do you even teach one? How does that even happen? Oh god, I don't understand. I don't understand how learning works from a... such metal electricity, that's such plastic no electricity. Just me, I'm an engineer. No, it's stuff. I'll go back to my funny video of you. Yeah, I don't care about... Thank you, Pluvium. I didn't learn about electrons until university. Really? I don't know. When growing up, I had a subscription to a magazine called Horrible Science. If you've ever heard of Horrible History, they had another branch where they did Horrible Science. Horrible, quote-unquote. And so I used to read all the magazines, and it had stuff about science and biology and physics and everything, just everything. There were just like dozens and dozens of volumes just about everything. I still have some hanging around, but that's how I learnt most of my stuff in science growing up. So yeah, in that way it's kind of hard to like teach that kind of stuff, because it's like how do I impart my knowledge to you when I don't know like what you know. Still haunted by those chemistry lessons sometimes. So many atoms. Oh god, chemistry was my least favorite. Whenever they'd be like, oh, here's like the name of a chemical, and write down what its like name, and write down like how many of each atom it has, and no, just thinking about chemistry is making me want to like roll over. Let's read one of the story. I do want to get 2 done in one stream. This one's a lot shorter though. I don't know what this one's about. I've never even heard of this one. Or I probably did when I was a kid and I forgot. When it comes to everything from your entertainment, everything too complex can be hopeless though. Yeah. Yeah. Good luck, all teachers. And good job, all teachers that are good at their jobs. You're fighting the fight. Good grief. Alright. One more story. Again, if anyone needs to go get some rest, some sleep, or anything like that, please do feel free. I don't have the ability to redirect/raid on YouTube, so you will not be sent to another stream. So you are safe to fall asleep, you will not be woken up. If you are currently working, I hope the rest of your shift goes well. If you're currently doing some like schoolwork or homework or anything like that, I hope it goes with little stress as possible. Yeah. I forgot what the rest of my spiel is. Right. The Golden Ball. Once upon a time there lived two lasses who were sisters, and as they came from the fair, they saw a right handsome man standing at a house door before them. They had never seen such a handsome young man before. He had gold on his cap, gold on his finger, gold on his neck, gold at his waist, and he had a golden ball in each hand. He gave a ball to each lass, saying that she was to keep it, but if she lost it, she was to be hanged. Now the younger of the lasses lost her ball, and this is how. She was by a park paling, and she was tossing her ball, and it went up, and up, and up, till it went fair over the paling, and when she climbed to look for it, the ball ran along the green grass, and it ran right forward to the door of a house that stood there, and the ball went into the house, and she saw it no more. So she was taken away to be hanged by the neck, till she was dead, because she had lost her ball. But the lass had a sweetheart, and he said he would go and get the ball. So he went to the park gate, but 'twas shut. Then he climbed the railing, and when he got to the top of it, an old woman rose up out of the ditch before him, and said that if he wanted to get the ball, he must sleep 3 nights in the house. So he said he would. Well, when it was evening, he went into the house, and looked everywhere for the ball, but he could not find it, nor anyone in the house at all. But when the night came on, he thought he heard Boggles moving about in the courtyard. So he looked out the window, and sure enough the yard was full of them. Presently he heard steps coming upstairs, so he hid behind the door, and was still as a mouse. Then in came a big giant, 5 times as tall as the lad, and looked around, but seeing nothing he went to the window, and bowed himself to look out, and as he bowed on his elbows to see the Boggles in the yard, the lad stepped behind him, and in one blow of his sword he cut him in twain, so that the top part of him fell in the yard, and the bottom part remained standing looking out of the window. Well, there was a great cry from the Boggles when they saw half of the giant come tumbling down to them. They called out, "There comes half our master, give us the other half." Then the lad said, "It's no use, thou pair of legs, standing alone at the window, as thou hast no eye to see with. So go join thy brother." And he cast the lower part of the giant after the top part. Now when the giants had gotten all the giant, they were quiet. Next night the lad went to sleep in the house again, and this time a second giant came in at the door, and as he came in, and the lad cut him in twain, but the legs walked on to the fire, and went straight up the chimney. "Go, get thee after thy legs," said the lad to the head, and he cast the other half up of the giant up the chimney. Now the third night nothing happened, so the lad got into bed, but before he went to sleep he heard the Boggles striving under the bed, and he wondered what they were at. So he peeped, and saw that they had the ball there, and were playing with it, casting it to and fro. Now after a time, one of them thrust his leg out from under the bed, and quick as anything the lad brings his sword down, and cuts it off. Then another bogle thrust his arm out at the other side of the bed, and in a twinkling the lad cuts that off too. And so it went on, till at last he had maimed them all, and all went off, crying and wailing, and forgot the ball. Then the lad got out of bed, found the ball, and went off at once to seek his true love. Now the lass had been taken to York to be hanged, and she was brought out on the scaffold, and the hangman said, Now, lass, thou must hang by thy neck, till thou be'st dead. But she cried out, Stop, stop, I think I see my mother coming. O mother, hast thou bought my golden ball and come to set me free? And the mother answered, I've neither bought thy golden ball, nor come to set thee free, but I have come to see thee hung upon these gallows tree. Then the hangman said, Now, lass, say thy prayers, for thou must die. But she said, Stop, stop, I think I see my father coming. O father, hast thou bought my golden ball and come to set me free? And the father answered, I've neither bought thy golden ball, nor come to set thee free, but I have come to see thee hung upon this gallows tree. Then the hangman said, Hast thee done thy prayers? Now, lass, put thy head into the noose. But she answered, Stop, stop, I think I see my brother coming. And again she sang her little verse, and her brother sang back the same words. And so with her sister, her uncle, her aunt, and her cousin, but they all said the same. I've neither bought thy golden ball, nor come to set thee free, but I have come to see thee hung upon this gallows tree. Then the hangman said, I will stop no longer. Thou'rt making game of me, thou must be hung at once. But now, at long last, she saw her sweetheart coming through the crowd, so she cried to him, Stop, stop, I see my sweetheart coming. Sweetheart, hast thou bought my golden ball and come to set me free? Then her sweetheart held up her golden ball and cried, Aye, I have come to thee, thy golden ball, and come to set thee free. I have not come to see thee hung upon this gallows tree. So he took her home then and there, and they lived happily ever after. How heartless. Her family was just like, yo, free execution? Yeah, we'll come watch. Yeah, we'll bring the whole family. Story's already wild. This is what fairy tales are like. Peacefully falling asleep with people being hung by the neck and cut in twain. Yes? These are not only that, but these are children's. These are children's fairy tales. That I don't think the newest generations really get told, but I grew up with, and before me grew up with. I feel like maybe this should explain some things. Her entire extended family, yeah, they really did. I mean, I know it was kind of like a public spectacle. Teaching methods in the olden days involved a lot more traumatizing. Real, yeah. I mean, it teaches you a valuable lesson, okay? Number one, don't trust weird strangers wearing gold to give you a golden ball that then says if you lose it, you'll get hanged. Number one, why were people listening to that guy? Like, how did everyone know? Yeah, by the way, I gave these two girls the golden balls. If they lose them, dead. Kill them. Hang them. Dead. Like, who's listening to this guy? Who is he? I mean, wearing all that gold, like, was he king? Was he just, like, a random, like, prince just, like, hanging out somewhere? Like, what? Also, hello, Valentine. Twain is just is such a funny word. The world building of these ancient writers sucked. It does! You gave the kid a ball, it's gone, give it a— yeah, why did you even give, like— well, I don't know how old these girls would have been. Two lasses who were sisters. Also, like, so did the older sister, who came to the hanging, also was given a golden ball? Like, did she keep hers? How did she keep hers safe? Or is she next? Like, is there a part 2? Okay, anyway, let's read one more. I'm curious about this vinegar one. Where's this vinegar one? There's some like really classic ones that like most people know, like Jack and the Beanstalk and stuff. But I'm kind of curious about the ones that people don't know. What's even the point of a golden ball if you can't resell? I mean, technically, if you sell it, you haven't lost it, have you? You've sold it. Maybe that's the thing. Like, maybe the guy was trying to get rid of it because someone told him that if he lost it, he would get hung, and so he gave it to these like unwitting poor girls to not make it his responsibility anymore. But also, where did the giants come from? And where did why were there giants in the house? Why was there an old lady in the ditch? Why was there an old lady in the ditch? Why did she just jump out at him and be like, sleep in this house for 3 days? Also, why did the Boggles keep on like sticking their arms and legs out when he kept on cutting them off with a sword? And then after he cut them all off, all of their limbs off, how did they leave? Did they just like roll out? I'm thinking too hard. Sorry. I'm sorry, medieval or earlier writer. I'm sorry. Alright, what page is... Huh. Okay, actually, so I'm only gonna read one more, but you can pick which one I read. Either Mr. and Mrs. Vinegar, just because I think the name is interesting. But there's actually one, I learned about the source of this a while ago. So you know Batman? You guys have heard of Batman, right? Trust me here, trust me with this little detail here. So Gotham in Batman was named after an earlier American writer's city. And that earlier American writer named his city Gotham based off of the English village. There is a village in England called Gotham, or it's spelled Gotham, but it's actually not pronounced Gotham, it's actually pronounced Gotham. Gotham? Something like that. Because in England, is like a suffix to a place name, so you wouldn't actually merge together the T and the H, it would be Gotham with like a space in between like the T and the H. Does sound like an English town name. Yeah, so apparently in this book there is the original source of the story of Gotham, which is the reason why Gotham exists in Batman. So yeah, do you want Vinegar or do you want Gotham? I mean, there are others as well. There's actually kind of a lot. You're telling me Batman is British? One of the Batman movies was actually filmed in Britain, I think. I remember hearing about it. Like, Bruce Wayne's manor is like there's like a manor in England that they filmed at. I'd have to Google it. Batman film UK. Part of the chase is filmed in streets around a thing in Essex, Liverpool. London. Dunsford. Yeah, they went to loads of different places around the UK and like filmed Batman stuff here. We use this information to seriously piss off an avid comic books fan. Thank you. So actually, let me read the Gotham story, because when I actually heard about the source of why Gotham is called Gotham, based off of Gotham, I found it kind of interesting. I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna read. I'm gonna read the story first, and then I will explain. 206. Alright. The wise man. There. Okay, take two. The wise man of Gotham. There were 2 men of Gotham, and one of them was going to market in Nottingham to buy sheep, and the other came from the market, and they both met together upon Nottingham Bridge. "Where are you going?" said the one who came from Nottingham. "Marry," said he that was going to Nottingham, "I am going to buy sheep." "Buy sheep," said the other, "and which way will you bring them home?" "Marry," said the other, "I will bring them over this bridge." "By Robin Hood," said he that came from Nottingham, "but thou shalt not." "By Maid Marian," said he that was going thither, "but I will." "You will not," said the one. "I will." Then they beat their staves against the ground, one against the other, as if there had been 100 sheep between them. "Hold in," said one, "beware lest my sheep leap over the bridge." "I care not," said the other. "They shall not come this way." "But they shall," said the other. Then the other said, "If that thou make much to do, I will put my fingers in thy mouth." "Will you?" said the other. Now, as they were at their contention, another man of Gotham came from the market, with a sack of meal upon a horse, and seeing and hearing his neighbours at strife about sheep, though there were none between them, said, "Ah, fools, will you ever learn wisdom? Help me, and lay my sack upon my shoulders." They did so, and he went to the side of the bridge, unloosened the mouth of the sack, and shook all his meal out into the rivers. "Now, neighbours," he said, "how much meal is there in my sack?" "Marry," said they, "there is none at all." "Now, by my faith," said he, "even as much wit as is in your 2 heads to stir up strife about a thing you have not." Which was the wisest of these 3 persons? Judge yourself. Once upon a time the men of Gotham would have kept the cuckoo, so that she might sing all year, and in the midst of their town they made a hedge round in compass, and they got a cuckoo, and put her into it, and said, "Sing there all through the year, or thou shalt have neither meat nor water." The cuckoo, as soon as she perceived herself within the hedge, flew away. "A vengeance on her," said they, "we did not make our hedge high enough." There was a man of Gotham who went to the market in Nottingham to sell cheese, and as he was going down the hill to Nottingham Bridge, one of the cheeses fell out of his wallet and rolled down the hill. "Ah, gaffer," said the fellow, "can you run to market alone? I will send one after another. I will send one after another after you." Then he laid down his wallet and took out the cheeses, and rolled them down the hill. Some went into one bush, and some went into another. "I charge you all to meet me near the marketplace," cried he. And when the fellow came to the market to meet his cheeses, he stayed there till market was nearly done. Then he went about to inquire of his friends and neighbours and other men, if they did see his cheeses come to market. "Who should bring them?" said one of the market men. "Marry, themselves," said the fellow. "They did know the way well enough." He sighed. "A vengeance on them all. I did fear to see them run so fast, that they might run beyond the market. I am now fully persuaded that they must now almost be at York. Whereupon he forthwith hired a horse to ride to York, to seek his cheeses, where they were not, but to this day no man can tell him of his cheeses. When Good Friday came, the men of Gotham cast their heads together, what to do with their white herrings, their red herrings, their sprats and other saltfish. One consulted with another, and agreed that such fish should be cast into their pond, which was in the middle of the town, that they might breed against the next year, and every man that had saltfish left cast them into the pool. I have many white herrings, said one. I have many sprats, said another. I have many red herrings, said another. I have many saltfish. Let all go into the pond or pool, and we shall fare like lords next year. At the beginning of next year following, the men drew near the pond to have their fish. But there was nothing but a great eel. Ah, said they all, a mischief on this eel, for he has eaten up all our fish. What shall we do to him? Said one to the other. Kill him, said one. Chop him into pieces, said another. Not so, said another. Let us drown him. Be it so, said all. And they went to another pond, and cast the eel into the pond. Lie there and shift for yourself, for no help thou shalt have from us. And they left the eel to drown. Once on a time, the men of Gotham had forgotten to pay their landlord. One said to the other, Tomorrow is our payday, and what shall we find to send our money to our landlord? The one said, This day I have caught a hare, and he shall carry it, for he is light of foot. Be it so, said all. He shall have a letter and a purse to put our money in, and we shall direct him the right way. So when the letters were written and the money put in a purse, they tied it round the hare's neck, saying, First you go to Lancaster, then you must go to Loughborough, and in Newark is our landlord. Commend us to him, and there are his dues. The hare, as soon as he was out of their hands, ran on along the country way. Some cried, Thou must go to Lancaster first. Let the hare alone, said another. He can tell a nearer way than the best of all of us. Let him go. Another said, It is a subtle hare. Let her alone. She will not keep the highway for fear of dogs. On a certain time there were 12 men of Gotham who went fishing, and some went into the water and some on dry ground. And as they were coming back, one of them said, We have ventured much this day wading. I pray God that none of us did come home be drowned. Marry, said one, let us see about that. 12 of us came out. And every man did count 11, and the 12th man did never count himself. Alas, said one to another, one of us is drowned. They went back to the brook where they had been fishing, and looked up and down for him that had drowned, and made great lamentation. A courtier came riding by, and he did ask what they were seeking, and why they were so sorrowful. Oh, they said, this day we came to fish in this brook, and there were 12 of us, and one is drowned. Why, said the courtier, count me how many of you there be. And one counted 11 and did not count himself. Well, said the courtier, what will you give me if I find the 12th man? Sir, said they, all the money we have. Give me the money, said the courtier, and he began with the first, and gave him a whack over the shoulders that he groaned, and said, There is one, and he served all of them that they groaned. But when he came to the last he gave him a good blow, saying, Here is your 12th man. God bless you on your heart, said all the company. You have found our neighbour. And those are the stories of the men of Gotham. A hare? Yeah, a hare. Like a long-eared, rabbit-like creature. They just gave their rent to the rabbit hair. Someone seems like seeming such simple mathematics. One number is the reason is there to obsess over the numbers. So, Gotham. Here is the thing about Gotham. And the minute see. So, back to the Batman thing. People of Gotham, people of Gotham in Batman, they're crazy, right? There's loads of criminals, like the Joker and so like all these deranged people that commit so many crimes. The men of Gotham they built a reputation that they were crazy. They built a reputation that they were not wise, that they were maddened. It was intentional. Because a king, I believe, this is paraphrased, I can't remember like the full story because it's been quite a while, but basically the king came, or the king's men came, and they wanted to build a road. They wanted to build a great road through Gotham. And so what the people of Gotham did is they all pretended to be crazy, because back then they thought crazy was infectious. And so they thought if we act crazy, if we act unwise, then the king will not build a road through our city. Or village, I guess. And so they on purposely spread all these tales about how terrible, how stupid, how crazy they were in Gotham. And it worked. They didn't end up building the road. They didn't end up building the road through Gotham. I don't actually know where they did build it. But there is still a road. It could have been the basis for a road that still exists in England. A lot of our roads in England are based off kind of like the original like medieval or even Roman roads. We have a lot of Roman roads in the UK. Use this tactic on my landlord? Good luck. Good luck if you do. But yeah, that's the actual story of Gotham, and it was the original American writer, not the one who wrote Batman, but the one that named their city after the American writer, who was inspired by the stories of the people of Gotham. But obviously the fact is that it changed to Gotham simply because the TH was kind of merged. You have to remember in older English, we had the thorn, so we would only say a sound whenever the thorn was present. The long British history of acting annoying so that new roads aren't built near them. So true. It still exists to this day. Good to know that trolling has been immortalized in literature. It has. I think it's good. I think it's funny. But yeah, there are some English fairy tales that I grew up with. That was only 3 of them, but there's actually loads of them. Gotham is a cooler name than Gotham, you have to admit. It is! Yeah, I do think that Gotham is a cooler name. But yeah, just because of the nature of how British village names work. It's not how it's pronounced here. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I've never been. It's a very small village somewhere in the Midlands, I think. I don't know if maybe Batman is so like culturally big now that maybe people that live there actually have started calling it Gotham. But yeah, like I said, I've never been. Maybe if I start doing travelling streams again, maybe I should go. I wonder if is there anything there? Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. Gotham, England. Is there anything here? References in literature. Is there anything? Is there anything? In 2014, the Gotham sign has been stolen 3 times in 4 years by Batman fans. Yeah, that's not too surprising. That's not too shocking. Is there anything, is there any like tourist attraction or anything? There's a park. And there's some food. Okay, it seems like it's such a small place, there's actually like nothing to do there. Still could be kind of interesting. It's not... It can't be that far from me since it's in the Midlands. I don't know where exactly, and I don't know how long it takes to get there. I do miss doing travelling streams. I just got so demotivated by travelling. Wouldn't that be terrifying? Oh, I've done them before! I once went to, oh god, I don't remember what it was called. I once went to a place by the side of like a river, and like did like an hour, 2 hour stream like on the riverside. I did a travelling stream where I was in Edinburgh. I did a stream from a park in Edinburgh. Also by the side of a creek. I just seem to really like streaming next to water features. It's kind of comfy. It's kind of comfy streaming next to water features. I just realised your face is more than 50% hair. Yes. Correct. What if your soul goes and view a... It's such a small village. I doubt anyone lives there that watches me. But yeah, no, I've done travelling stream before. They are kind of terrifying because obviously, yes, it is possible for someone to recognise where I am and be like, I need to drive there immediately, and like England isn't that big of a country, so like it does have an element of being kind of terrifying. But the way I handled it when I did it before was that I didn't tell anyone where I was until the end of the stream, and then at the end of the stream I literally like packed up and left ASAP. So it is possible. It is scary. It is kind of scary, but doing traveling streams is something that I wanted to do for a really long time. But yeah, I got I went to Scotland about a year ago, and my internet like really failed me while I was up there, and it very much like heavily demotivated me for doing streams, traveling streams, just because it just went so catastrophically badly compared to how I wanted it to go. So it wasn't great. What would you do if a viewer showed up and called out to you, asking for a friend? During stream, I would ask very politely that they... Oh god, I don't even know. It depends. Like, if someone approaches me and starts like trying to take photos and stuff, I'm literally gonna like instantly end stream and like freak out and lose it. I wouldn't be happy about it. I'll say that much. I would not be happy about it. I would feel very disrespected. I would hope that my viewers are all respectful of the fact that I am an internet being, and therefore approaching me IRL is during a stream is not optimal. Paralyzed out of it, yeah. Yeah, I don't really know how I would react, but it wouldn't be good, and I wouldn't appreciate it. Anyway. But yeah, it's been a long time since I did a travel stream. Unfortunately, my laptop, obviously I still have it. I actually paid my laptop off like about a month ago, but that means that I ended my contract and I no longer have internet on it. So now if I tried to do a stream using my laptop, I would have to use my phone as a hotspot, and my internet would be even worse. than it was. Difficult. It's annoying because travel streams is something I was actually really passionate about for a really long time and really wanted to like, I wanted to go places and like share them with you guys. I wanted to like go to museums and like places of historical importance, and I wanted to like see if I could even stream from like a ferry, like traveling. Wasn't the whole point of it the internet? Which part? Like the laptop? Me on my way to say hi to Period IRL and get smashed with a camera stick. I'm gonna get my bodyguard to take you out. Spoilers, my bodyguard is my mom. So looking forward to the castle stream. What if the camera were to slip out your hands and show your face? I'm quite careful about that. I have had a couple of slip-ups with a camera. The thing is, like, you have to remember, even with a camera, even like not doing travel streams, there's always like a risk. It's something I've not come to terms with fully, but I just kind of like avoid thinking about. Laptop. Oh, the most important part of like, number one, the laptop was important because I didn't have a laptop and I can't stream without some kind of personal computer device, and I cannot take my entire desktop with me anywhere. It's too much. So the laptop was it was important to have an actual laptop as well. The internet, the thing is, like, I do have good internet on my phone as well. And like hotspots and stuff work. I also got told about other alternatives. I have a friend who lived in a part of the country where there was like terrible internet. Like, even if you tried like paid for real internet, you still basically had no internet. And they told me about like a some kind of like device that can like really improve internet stuff. And also was like, oh well, if you ever need to borrow it at any point, like I can lend it to you. I'm like, ooh. So yeah, I've kind of like learned about alternatives since. The place I would visit is called Poison. Oh, the Poison Garden. The Poison Garden's cool. Ah, that would be cool to stream. That'd be cool to visit. I want to visit the Poison Garden. I have heard of it. When cutscene starting in Gotham, I recognize your voice. Should I keep the secret shut down with me forever? I mean, why would I be in... Are you saying that you'd be casually shopping in Gotham at the same time as me doing a traveling stream in Gotham? Because I've never been, so I don't think there's much chance of running into me there. Never thought of doing a pre-recorded video, like recording a visit to a real place and watching watching it with us live. I have thought about like pre-recorded content and edited content of that kind of sense, but also I feel like, and this might be a little bit silly, this might be just like brainworms talking, but I feel like so many other people do like travel content that like just normal like vlog style stuff that I feel like really the only edge I can get over other people is being live, I guess. I don't know. I'm just brainworms there. Sorry, demons, brain demons. Shopping and going with the restaurant, I'm purely recognizing your voice out in the wild. If you recognize my voice out in the wild, number one, I'm impressed, because you have to remember, like, compression does slightly change how voices sound, so... And while I might be, like, kind of have a unique voice in the world of streamers, I don't think I have a unique voice in the, UK. Obviously my British accent is kind of like, oh, it's a charm plane almost when it comes to being a Twitch streamer, but there's a lot of other British people in the UK. Realistically, if you ran into me in real life, just don't take photos of me. Don't take photos of me. Don't comment on my appearance. But you can be like, oh, I am a viewer of yours. I do know you, and I will engage it. I will talk to you. But yeah, no photos. No evidence. No evidence of our meeting. Other than your memories. You know IRL streamers exist, right? Yeah, but they don't... IRL streamers don't really do... I've never seen an IRL streamer do a travel stream, other than, like, I guess... like, Iron Mouse and Connor doing, like, Disneyland? That's still kind of half VTuber, so I don't know. Your edge is spending time with... my edge? Voice, talking style, personality, mannerisms, those are things one picks up on. You guys can't see all my mannerisms though. You guys can't see them. I don't have hand tracking most of the time. You guys don't know my mannerisms. I could have any mannerisms. You don't have a clue. Admittedly, I have been told that I do act exactly the same online and offline. So, yeah, okay, personality-wise, you could definitely catch me out, probably. Oh, travel streams is well-established niche, so you know. Really? I've only really seen it in, like, vlog style, like, edited vlog style. You're saying that streaming live was your edge over- Oh! Sorry, I thought my brain interpreted like edge, you know, like being edgy. Like, ow, the edge. I was like, my being edgy is me? Sorry. It's like 3 AM, my brain's starting. I say starting, my brain's always going, but it's like especially going. No horrendously awkward selfie. No horrendously awkward selfies. I could sign something for you. That's about it. Real horror and I will be ending up working alongside a regular viewer, then there's no escape. I'd like to think if I ended up working alongside someone who was a viewer of mine, that they would act normal. I hope. The question is, what happened first? Like, were they a viewer before we ended up being co-workers, or did they start watching me after we became co-workers? It was that definition of edge? There's another definition of edge? That'll be out of a plot of a manga. Probably is already a plot of a manga or a light novel. But yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of things I want to do, but it kind of feels like right now I feel very stalled in terms of the stuff that I want to do and the stuff I'm capable of, and it's becoming clearer to me every day and getting more tangible that I'm not like making significant progress towards some things that I want to be, but there's not a lot I can really do about it. Don't worry about it. Okay, I won't. Lumens have the dictionary. Wait, edge is a innuendo now? I'm ignoring that. Okay? Ignorance is bliss. I love being ignorant. I love being ignorant of everything. Edge. Oh, for God's sake. Ah, Zoomers. Yes, sorry. I didn't assume that. Not what my brain goes to. It's not what my brain goes to at all. Jesus. So it's important to enjoy streaming. Be idealistic when numbers of streaming up. Oh no, I love streaming. I love streaming a lot. Even when sometimes it kind of feels like stuff is not going quite as I want it to. But I'm not giving up. I'm still here. I still have a lot of things I want to achieve. I still have a lot I want to do. It's just not going as fast as I wish it would, but coming up on our 4th anniversary, we celebrate happy. Yes. Yeah, numbers debuted just a little bit before I did. Nobody will collab with me, not even my usual. I mean, your first mistake was trying to collab with someone who rarely ever collabs with anyone. I don't even know your supposed viewer VTuber account, so I suppose that's always life. What things not happening fast enough. You will. When did I say that? Pluvium. I hardly collab with anyone. Also, technically, didn't we already play Sea of Thieves together? You already joined when I was doing that? Also Risk of Rain 2? Like, we've already played games. That was a viewer event, not a collab. What is a viewer event but a collab with viewers? Now, here's the thing, I'm just, No, I've spoken about this before. Pluvium, you already... This is just trying to bait a response out of me. Pluvium, I wished you were less of a wild card sometimes. Seeing here drawing boxes perspective while listening by God drawing boxes to oh god, yeah, learning perspective. What point perspective are you doing? Like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point? Every time you read our messages it's like a little collab. I mean, it is collaborative, so technically, I mean we talked about this before. I've talked about my opinions on collabs before, yes. And why I don't do them very often, and why I don't feel very compelled to do them. I'm sorry. Sorry if you wanted a big collab streamer. Sorry if you wanted a streamer that spends 5 days out of 7 of the week collabing. It's not for me. Never has been for me. I did try it once. I had a stream where I did 9 collabs in 1 week. That was a lot. I learnt my lesson. 2 point perspective, going through the basics of your world made it easy to be distracted here, but I screwed up the hatching. Oh god, 2 point perspective. I hate perspective. Legitimately I hate perspective. So I wish you the best of luck. Don't want you to collab in general, just collab with me. See, no, you're just being unrealistic. You're just being unrealistic now. Curb your expectations, Pluvium. Gotta keep drawing those boxes. I believe in you. I believe in you. 2 point perspective is conquerable. Just wait till you reach 4 point perspective. That'll make you want to cry. Trust me. For the record, I gave it a shot and then was like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that anymore. That's, hate that. Thank you. Why is this just popped up? Go away. Sorry, that was, my browser just deciding to be like, hi, I'm here. Okay, anyway, it is now 3 AM. I started streaming an hour early because I knew I was gonna yap. I knew I was gonna be like, I've barely streamed, therefore that means I'm gonna end up talking a whole bunch, like a... I don't know what talks a lot. Me. I also like the improved music of Skyrim Enhanced mod. Yeah, I thought since it's fairy tales, I would go with kind of like a tavern style, like 16th century kind of vibe. I hope I succeeded. But yeah, no, at 3 AM, it's time for some zoomies, my cat. Yeah, that sounds about right. The cat we have at the moment, I've never seen him with the zoomies. He's a very chill cat. I lie, because it's 4 AM here. 3 AM, 4 AM. More of a 14th century kind of vibe, really? I thought some of the instruments sounded a bit too modern to be 14th century. I don't even know if you're being serious or not, but fair enough. This is okay. Fair enough. We both could be completely wrong. I was definitely guessing. For the record, I think the music was probably made very contemporary, so you know. Did I tell you I've been watching a cat? I hate him a bit. You've not been getting along with many of the animals you've interacted with recently. Do you get along with that dog yet? Always haunted by the fact that my messages could be taken seriously or not. Sorry, I'm really bad for that because I am very bad at reading tone. And I would rather... My default is assuming that people are being sincere and honest first. So, until someone tells me, no, Purity, that was a joke, I'm like, oh. But to be fair, it also happens in the reverse. I still remember the very first stream, and I would like to think I have a better control over my tone nowadays. Like I have more variance in, like I have some emotion in my voice, so you can actually tell, like, oh, this is a joke, this is lighthearted, this is serious. Like I hope I've kind of gotten the hang of that. But I remember like my first stream, I remember people asking me like, are you actually mad? Are you like actually like angry? Like are you actually like really serious about? I'm like, no, it's a joke, it's joke, it's just silly, hee hee, sorry. Gets along with me where I despise him. Yeah, okay, that's as long as you're not mean to him, I guess. You're in your right to dislike a family pet. Stream has genuinely made me less irony poisoned. That makes me really happy, actually. I'm glad. I think there's a certain level of being irony poisoned that is to be expected. In the modern age, there's a lot of people that is like, serious. God, you can't take anything seriously. But sincerity is good. I like sincerity. I'm a big fan of being sincere and genuine and honest. And sometimes I say things and they have second meanings that I don't necessarily intend. And in those cases I wish that people would like double check with me what I mean. Sorry, it is the autism. But yeah, I think being sincere and honest is good. The problem is in that like saying that kind of stuff is then it's like, because I know that other people are like irony poisoned, I feel like being like, oh, I try and be good. People are like, oh, they're faking being. Oh, it's a whole mess. But it's fine. I can't be anything but who I am, and at the end of the day, what people think of me is not in my control. I have advanced irony poisoning, please help. I will do my best. I can't really, like, consciously help, but I mean, I can be a bit sarcastic. I have my sarcasm. I am British. You have to understand. I do have some sarcasm. It's built within me. Born and raised. But yeah, no. I try and be. I'd like to think I'm sincere most of the time. I have irony autism. Wait. Hold on, you can't blame autism on demons. Specifically, that's the Fae. Okay, get it right. Genuineness rubs off on others. That, I mean, I hope so. I don't know. Well, it'd be nice, but if I'm a good influence on people, that would make me happy. I won't say I am or not. That's for other people to decide. Like I guess you have said for yourself, but yeah. I don't know words. Hi, Dirk. Yeah, I can't be anyone but myself, and I can't change anyone, and their behavior, but I can try and understand people the best I can. Part of your sincerity is fear of being real. I really hate being misunderstood. Literally, oh god, it shakes me to my core. Destroys me. But it's fine. It is what it is. I'm a lot happier with like the person I am nowadays as well, because I used to be a lot more defensive and not genuine, but I used to keep a lot of my cards much closer to my chest because I was afraid of people. I mean, I'm still afraid of people. But I definitely used to think that people were like inherently selfish. I used to be like, people will take an opportunity to stab you in the back if they can. And some people will stab you in the back if they can. That's unfortunately just how it is. But lots of people are genuinely good. Lots of people genuinely want to do well by others. Lots of people... There's a lot of people as well that, like, while they don't necessarily do good, they have good intentions. There's a lot of people out there with good intentions that just don't manage it very well. And I think people... humanity is inherently good believer. The answer was just to coat everything in 3 layers of social activities you can fall back on. This one is in a show ironic, but there's so much raised pain. Oh no, you've got a point. Like, I feel like in school I definitely had to do that kind of stuff. Like, if you were too sincere in school, like, people would pick up on your weakness and get you. It's me, I'm the backstabber, the trickster god archetype even. Why though? Like, genuinely, why? Does it make you happy to do that kind of stuff? Like, what is the reason for it? Cyclically attacks you with TV episode where 2 characters massive. No! So cute, why would you do that to me? I literally, that's like my least favorite thing. I hate, whenever there's a... No, I've literally dropped so many TV shows over that kind of... Oh god. I even stopped watching Precure, like one of the series of Precure over a misunderstanding episode. You'd think that Precure, literally like a kids magical girl anime, you'd think that'd be fine, but no. You freaking died. Life is good, and you can saute vegetables, but then there's also the demons. Locking people in a glass dome with the most vulnerable and unstable years of their life to compare. Yeah! I would like to hope that I have healed now from most of the stuff that I experienced in school. School was really rough. School was really rough for me, that's no secret. And I think the fact that some of my interests and stuff betrays, and the way that I've always been kind of like open about some of my interests kind of shows that. Although, now I say that, actually, I do think something happened the other day where I kind of think that maybe my school days are still impacting on me a little bit. I feel like whenever someone is like, purity, that interest of yours, it's not, God, just stop, I don't think anyone's explicitly said, stop talking about X, but it feels implied sometimes, and I feel like I'm still sensitive to that kind of stuff, even though it's a little silly. I'm an adult, I can talk about what I want, it's my stream, but also, our stream, it's our stream. Feeling of watching fictional characters go on a whole 5 episodes, because they won't just talk to, yeah, it's a nightmare, an actual nightmare. I remember my mum was watching, this was like 10 years ago, my mum was watching episodes of House, Doctor House, and there was an episode where a woman had some kind of like illness that made her compulsively admit everything that she had ever done in her life, apart from she hadn't actually done those things, she was just like making up stuff. And so she like called in like all her friends and families and started telling them about like things that she did wrong, apart from she didn't actually do those things. And so everyone like started hating her because they thought that she did all these bad things that she didn't actually do. I literally had to leave the room. I literally just had to like leave the living room and like just go sit on the stairs and play Love Live for a while because I was just... Stop talking about Amogus. Okay, no problem. I'll never mention it again. If someone doesn't want to hear pure yap, they can change the channel. That's true. I suppose those shows were like our traumatizing fairy tales. Real. Do you not know that meme? Oh god, sorry. Am I not up with the latest memes again? Sorry. Sorry, what? Okay, inform me of the meme. I now feel a deep primal impulse to annihilate any misunderstandings between me and people, no matter how— Yeah! Same! Oh. Whenever someone tells me, like, oh, like last year you said something and, I assumed you meant this, and I'm like, no! 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 Beg of you, if you ever think I say something weird, if you ever think I say anything uncharacteristic, if I say something that could be misinterpreted, please just ask me about it. I beg of you. The Among Us meme has not just search "Stop Talking About Among Us" on YouTube. It's a TikTok. Oh, okay. That's why I wouldn't know about it. I don't watch TikToks. There's this hypno meme called Rustling Jimmy. Oh god, when wasn't that like 2011? Rustling Jimmys. Lay it on me, thick purity. Am I cringe? I do not think you are cringe. You've said some funny things in Numbers chat, but I don't think you've ever said cringe things in Numbers chat. Were you the one who asked about my model? Giving my model to Numbers to mod in? Wasn't cringe though. That wasn't cringe either. I don't know if that was you, if that was yeah, that wasn't— I don't think that was cringe. For me it was funny because for me I don't get bothered by those kind of things at all. But I felt kind of bad for you. But for me I don't mind. I don't mind when people I don't have the type of like social issues where I feel like I have to agree to things if I'm put on the spot. If someone puts me on the spot and I don't want to do something, I'll just be like, sorry, nah. It's just I wasn't. No, it's all okay, Fidots. You are. I mean, you don't even need forgiving because I never was like, how could you in the first place. It's all good. I don't know what etiquette that means. Sorry. But yeah, no, I don't mind those kind of things. I think it's for this, like, it's the same kind of thing where there's some rules in my chat that, like, I don't mind where other people, you know how some VTubers have in their rules, like, don't bring up other streamers! Don't bring up other streamers! Don't! Unless I talk about them first, don't even think about it! Meanwhile, I don't like people, like, promoing streamers in my chat, but, like, if someone comes in and they're like, hey Purity, have you seen what Space is doing? Like, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, what's Space doing? Like, I'm not being like, don't bring up anyone in my chat! Can't talk about what I can. Oh, is that what you're saying? They do? Yeah, no. I don't mind when people bring up people in my chat. It's sometimes a little difficult for me. If someone mentions someone that I've never heard of, or I don't watch, it's a little bit difficult for me, because I'm kind of like... Yeah! That person is probably cool, but I don't know, so I can't comment. You should know, Love humble brags about you. Wait, what? Where? Who? When? Why? I miss Space. When was the last time Space streamed? Space is fine. Well, I don't know if they're fine, but Space is around. Funny how much I hear about other VTubers hating backseating when I've only heard you begging for backseating. To be fair, I do think some people go too far with backseating for other people. Some streamers really want to, like, figure out games for themselves. But, like, for me, gaming is like a collaborative experience. Like, I never grew up with siblings or anything, so I never grew up with anyone who was like, oh, you're doing it wrong, do it like this. So all of the experiences I had with like other people helping me have been positive experiences. And so with games and stuff, it's like I feel like more like the collective knowledge of a lot of people makes the game more enjoyable than just struggling for hours on something. But I understand people who don't like backseating, who really want to like figure out everything for themselves. Never humble bragged about Purity, to be honest. Okay, fair enough. Mostly exists with the numbers around, so I've seen all the different plov flavors there is to see. I feel like there's probably a specific archetype of plov you have missed in outside of the numbers sphere, but I think that's fine. Please do not stalk other viewers. Or VTube, well, I don't know. No, don't stalk anyone. Don't stalk anyone. I see if you have a chance to actually be seriously awkward and try to VTube without mentioning the gameplay at all. Yeah. See, here's the thing though. So I don't, a lot of the time, if I'm playing a game blind, I don't look at like any wiki, I don't look at any like tutorials or anything. So backseating really helps me. My favorite things for like quote-unquote backseating are when people know secrets about a game, like hidden stuff. When someone's like, oh, if you just like knock that wall, it's like a secret thing behind it. Like that's happened a lot during like I know Muse Dash is a weird one to say backseating to, but that's happened quite a lot with that one. Noita, I know people were like helping me with like wands and stuff, and it's nice. It just makes gaming feel like a little bit more collaborative, more than just like me showing you guys a TV and you guys being like, wow, you're doing a thing. Enjoyable to see passion of you. Yeah, I really... Okay. I love playing games that people are immensely autistic about. I know that's kind of... that feels like a weird thing to say, but games that, like, have people who are obsessive and, like, have memorized... They haven't even memorized the wiki necessarily, but, like, just have encyclopedic knowledge of their games. I think it's great. I mean, sometimes I worry about disappointing them. So sometimes I'm like, I'm not good enough at this game to be the vessel of this knowledge. But thank you anyway. Noise is impossible to play without a guide, to be fair. Noise is impossible to play on stream when my computer just starts lagging like crazy. But yeah, I love playing games that people are immensely passionate about. Passionate is the better way to put it than autistic. You refuse to play Genshin again? The problem I have with Genshin is that it's like, it could be such a good game if it was just like a normal RPG. I loved the story of Genshin. I loved like the world building of Genshin, like the stuff with the Archons in the past, and like I genuinely really loved it. But like the grinding of the trinkets and only being able to build up characters if you pull on their banners, and then the meta, like them nerfing characters so that you buy the new characters. It's just... Genshin could be a really great game if it wasn't a gacha. And I'm sad about it. I'm sad about it! I'm still sad about it. Play Cube Chaos instead. So I get reward mode, or maybe consumed by the character personality, but oh yeah, you always... yeah, Numbers as reward streams are really interesting to watch, because obviously people's characters get named after after them. My favorite moment in Genshin was when generic Chinese being shown in 100. So... I don't know what scene that's implying, or if you just made that up for the sake of a bit. Any honest playing on one stream, you're not playing the game correct? Well, the one stream where I played again, I actually hadn't played in like a year. I literally just went back, like, you redeemed it, didn't you? And so I hadn't played in a year. I think after I did that stream, I carried on playing for like a week and I had to turn the world level down. It can't be immediately dismissed as a bit silly. Don't... Okay, listen, I've got my own opinions of Genshin. Don't insult games though that people enjoy. I could get very autistic about team character building if you played again. I don't know. I just don't think I have the... I don't think I have the time to play Genshin anymore. I still... Even though I kind of make little jabs at it sometimes, and I do hate the fact that it is a gacha, the time that I spent playing it, that first year, I did enjoy. The main thing that makes Remote insane is the sleep deprivation combat with near zealous passion, the absolute insanity that is a save file. I recently got given all the DLCs for Remote. I've given it a little bit of a play since, and I was actually surprised at how much the base game experience actually was not changed. It kind of makes me wonder how many mods numbers it actually has running. I mean, I know it's a lot. I only have some like quality of life mods. So the fact that I wasn't like immediately inundated with like cat girls and fox girls was like, wow, that's crazy. 80% of Genshin criticism is totally, but yeah, I think so. Isn't it kind of controversial to play at the moment too? I think it's I think it's a bad time to stream Genshin. It only has a couple dozen mods. Yeah, I think I have 11. I think I have 11 mods, and that's including Harmony. Surprisingly, they're actually cat girls in biotech. They're just oh, okay. Had a couple of playthroughs with around 300. Jesus. Yeah, do you want to know the mods I have in real mode? Because it's not a lot. It's literally just like a couple of different quality of life. I use Harmony. Filth vanishes with rain and time. So aka like rain just washes away like blood and dirt and stuff outside. Door clearance, which basically makes it so my people like leave, don't put stuff in doorways so that my doors can actually freaking close. I have replaced stuff, so like if I build a wooden wall, I can just build like a stone wall on top of it without having to like remove stuff. So like if I build a freezer, I don't have to worry about like building a double wall to try and make sure like nothing goes off while I'm rebuilding the walls and stuff. And then I have a mod called Not My Fault, which is if someone comes into my map and then dies to something else like bugs or pirates or just anything else, I don't take a reputation hit for it, because you take a reputation hit for them dying to other shit than you. And that's not fair. It wasn't me. Okay? It's not my fault that your stupid caravan decided to walk into a mega spider cave. Okay? It wasn't my fault. That was you. It was all you. Remote mods may be like, I don't know what that is. So the one that lets Twitch chat terrorize you. Okay, so hypothetically, if there's a purity mod for remote, what kind of power skills abilities will a cat question mark have? Hypothetically. If you're talking about me as purity, just me as a cat question mark, the only ability I really have as a cat question mark, and not my true form, and not my half true form, is that I can bring myself back to life if I die. Like, I can just kind of like remake myself. Like, just kind of. Yeah, that's it. I don't know how to describe it. It's not like reviving. I don't like take my original body and go, be back. I just kind of go, like I go back in the saves file and just like copy, paste. Remember modding because the spreadsheet is trying to min-max your ISO versus your TPS in order to condense the perfect experience and have fun. Reminds me of something, but maybe that's not an in-public question to ask. You're free to message me, Pluvio. Would being afraid of water and puking up rats fit the law? Yeah, I've never puked up a rat. Ever. I can't swim. I'm not afraid of water, but I can't swim, so... There's like a Venn diagram. I think it sounds like the Steam version of Dolphin Mother. Really? I'm still waiting for the frickin' adventure mode to like fully release. Is it Amazon lost? What do you mean for a couple you send it? No, I do like Guru. I think what you're referencing specifically is I think some people have come to an impression where liking Goro is like a main character trait of mine, when it's a part of the puzzle. That is me. It is a part of what makes up myself. But it's not like a primary character trait, I don't think. I do lean on it a bit because I do think that the gap moe between, wow, cozy cat and hee Goro is kind of like interesting. But yeah, I do like Goro. I'm not really into arrow Goro. But blood, guts, organs. Good. Does this mean I don't have to... Vivian, why are you like this? You don't have to fake liking anything. You don't have to... Could you just be sincere and, like, honest? Please? Can I be real? I don't know how to interpret any of your actions. I don't know when you're being genuine ever. I can't tell. You're impossible to decipher. What would you say some of your primary character traits then? Primary character traits. See, it's kind of hard because I don't really have a very strong sense of self. I think the fact that sometimes I get kind of get put off things, but I normally only end up delaying them. I don't tend to give up permanently on stuff. I feel like I'm kind of... I don't know if stubborn's the right word. Maybe stubborn. Maybe stubborn is the right word. I feel like that's a character trait. Determined! Sometimes. Determined. That's a more positive word than stubborn. I don't know, maybe the genuineness. I'm kind of taking that from what you guys have said earlier. I feel like saying, oh, I'm genuine is not really a thing you can say about yourself. It's something that other people do have to say about you. Neurotic? Yeah, neurotic, yeah. I'll go, yeah. Definitely. I think neurotic is probably up there in the character traits for me. Optimist / sanguine. Oh, yeah, there's that humours test, isn't there? Which of the 4 humours are you? I'm not a cannibal. I'm not a cannibal. Sorry. Yeah. Optimist. Determined. Neurotic. Prone to isolation. Streaming has actually done a world of good for me for like not isolating myself. I used to go like very hicky neat of me, but I used to like isolate myself for months and months on end and not talk to anyone. And I still definitely do it to some extent, especially in like on a DM basis. Like, I kind of... Talking on stream feels like a different kind of, like, interaction than a one-on-one. I suppose sexuality are also technically traits. For me, because my sexuality is defined by a lack of, I don't know whether it really counts as primary or not. I think it's more important to other people This is kind of fucked up. I feel like my sexuality is more important to other people than it is actually to myself. Because I just don't think about it. It's only when other people remind me that I'm like, oh shit, that's a thing. There is an asexual trait? Well, that's me. That's me, baby. That's me. I'm the reminder. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me, I guess. But yeah. So primary character traits of Puri: autism, stubbornness, sincerity. Second character traits of Puri: Guru. Yeah. Yeah, that tracks. I don't know, it's hard to work out my sense of self. Honestly, I think you guys probably know me better than I know myself. Sometimes you guys are way off the mark. Sometimes you guys, I see people say things and I'm like, you're not even close. But sometimes I think as a whole, you guys could rebuild me if you worked together. Good to see East being represented more. Yeah, I don't talk about it very often. Well, I don't know. I feel like I talk more about being aro-ace than straight people talk about being straight, but I talk less about being aro-ace than some like gay people talk about like liking men / women. I don't know. No need to come up with all these labels. It's simply a creature. Yeah, I'm just a question mark. I'm just question mark. Don't worry about it. I'm just here. You tell me if you like them. Night Owl, Undergrounder, Body Modder, Pyromaniac, Bloodlust, Nimble, Delicate, Too Smart, Tortured Artist. God, what artist isn't a tortured artist? Night Owl, definitely. Actually, yeah, one of my defining traits is my fucked up sleep pattern. That's definitely a trait of mine. Maybe delicate. I have a kind of a poor constitution, if you guys couldn't tell. I'm kind of frail. Well, kind of. I'm like weirdly resilient, like in some ways, and like strangely frail in other ways. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I can do anything, and then other times it's like, yeah, I've been taken out by the smallest. I got the wind blew on me in a weird way, and I just frickin' died. Getting tough. You don't have to pick every single trait. Just pick the important one. The things that you think are most important. Are you actually? Fast learner, great memory, kind recluse. I am the untortured artist. I reverse it and torture other people with my art. Apart from then I turn around and torture you with your own art, apparently, by putting it in my slideshows and you want me to delete it forever. I guess. Yes, well, I'm gonna keep on torturing you, and you will be a tortured artist. I'm going to turn you into a tortured artist. Sorry. I mean that in the nicest way possible. No, I haven't deleted it forever. There's flag for being asomniatic? I don't think so. Oh my god, there's so many traits. There's too many traits. There's too many traits. I don't know who I am. My dad definitely gets the fast walker one though. If you meet my dad, you gotta give him the fast walker. My dad's like one of those like little wind-up toys that if you wind up and put him down, he just freaking goes. So what the fuck is he on? And there's me and my mum just walking at like a normal human pace, and my dad's like, I've made 3 laps of the city, I've gone into every single shop, I've seen everything there is to see. Okay, I'm done. It's like, whoa, what the fuck? Chill. I think one time I went to an anime convention, and it was me, mum and dad, and literally, yeah, my dad like went around the dealer's hall like 4 times, and it was like, I've seen everything, I've bought everything I wanted. I was like, dude, we're here all day, like, chill. What the fuck? You do have to make 2 laps. You do have to do 2 laps. The first lap is just to have a look at everything, to look at the selection, and then the second lap is for actually, like, buying. Character, purity, traits. Yep, I do have traits. Probably. That's true. That's true. That's real. I can confirm. I do have traits. Oh god, ow, Jesus. I just put my hand on my own arm and, like... hot. It's warm. I'm warm. My room's not really warm. When your RuneScape character has a more defined sense of self than you do. True! Passion for melee is a no-brainer. Also social, I forgot. See, I don't know. For me, social is such a strange thing. You guys see, obviously, me on stream, and I talk to you guys, which makes me seem social. Probably. I don't know. Can't speak for you guys. But I'm kind of terrible at communicating in any other way. I am trying to improve. This makes me seem social. That's just being social. It's being social in a specific way. Being social in a specific way. I don't have an easy time like reaching out to others. You guys come to me, and that makes it that I can talk to you guys. You guys are here. You guys come to my stream. I go, hi, how you doing? Doing good? Have a good day. But me try to approach anyone like, hi, I'm a person. Hello, Smacklord. Welcome from Australia. Australia. Is that how you do it? Sorry, I shouldn't. God, you walk in and I just immediately make fun of Australia. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If you want to leave immediately, I don't blame you. Have a good night, morning, afternoon. Australia. I'm 12 autistic, 9 and 8 in social restless skills, hover between 2 and 4. Stages between stream chat and IRL chatting only hold weight because then you enforce something in your mind just going, you're not firing, okay, you're not firing at the end of the day. It's okay, you can say thank you. Thank you for your forgiveness. Social maintenance one's capacity to understand social cues and complexity. Anyone of us would be at least decent. Oh, I mean, my understanding of social cues and complexities. That's difficult. I'd like to think I'm pretty good, but that's because I spend a lot of time analyzing people. Am I actually good at doing them? Great question. Anyway. Ah! Okay, sorry. I shouldn't suddenly yell. There will be someone who was raised. Yes. No. Fortunately, I was raised by humanoids. Raised by humanoids. Still not sure whether my dad's a vampire or not. Genuinely haven't figured that out yet. He will not reveal it. Average Londoner? Oof. Londoners just follow different rules than the rest of everyone on the planet. think Perry can be that good at reading facial cues because they'd be too disgusting. I actually discovered. Oh my god, that reminded me. So obviously I do have to interact with humans sometimes. I discovered, you know how autistic people aren't good at eye contact? The thing is, I always thought I was actually pretty good at eye contact because I can look at people's eyes when they talk to me. So I thought I was good. But you know what I discovered? I'm not actually looking like in their eyes. I'm looking at the light reflections on their eyes. Because does that count? Does that count as like looking into someone's eyes if I'm like looking at the shapes of the reflections of light on their eyes? I like is this like a cheat code? Like some people are like, oh, if you're not comfortable, like, oh, look at the space between the eyebrows, or like stuff. But no, I noticed myself like really heavily focusing on like the window shape of the light in someone's eyes. I was like, oh wait, is this what I do? Also, hello Kitsu. Interact with humans sometimes. I do have a job sometimes. I do have a job sometimes. This is a new level of over. Does it count though? I don't know what actually what do people who actually look into someone's eyes, what are they doing? What are you doing when you look into someone, like... Are you just looking at like their facial expressions in general and like focusing on their eyes, or are you like... I don't know. I don't know. Said I was good at eye contact all my life, now I have eye contact impossible. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's my trick. That's my trick. Try looking at the way that light reflects in someone's eyes and see if that helps you helps you out. Works unless you're in a dark room. It counts? Oh, it counts. Really? Wow. Okay. I thought because I was focusing more on the light in their eyes and not their actual like facial expression, it didn't count. That's crazy. I'm making too much eye contact. I'm making too little eye contact. Because what counts as eye contact? Okay, that's me for real, for real. Listen, I don't know how to be a human. I have to overthink every single aspect of human interaction. I don't know what's right. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know how normal... I know that normal people don't even think about it. They don't even worry about it. But I have to get such a good grade. I have to get such a good grade of conversation. Normal people do think about it, do they? I don't trust you. I don't trust what you're saying. Fellow eye contact overthinker in the wild, both trying to overthink each other's overthinking. This sounds like a spiral, to be honest. Existing's hard. I think we can all just come to the conclusion of, regardless of whether you're neurotypical, neuro, atypical, autistic, anything, just being a person's really tough. We should get some more credit for being people. I think all of us need more credit for not being insane all of the time. I will patiently await my trophy in the mail. Thank you. Anyway, it's nearly 4 AM. Aren't you a cat? I'm a cat ? I'm still a humanoid. I'm still humanoid. In my half and this form. Realizing everyone is only on their first go around in life was like, whoa. Hello rat. Yeah. We're all just figuring shit out. I want to take 2. Are you a nekomata? I'm actually not. No, I'm not a nekomata. I am a kimono mimi. Which just means I'm basically perfectly human shaped, other than the fact I have a cat ears and tail. I don't actually have any other cat features. It's purely aesthetic. Nekomata! Nekomata are the spirits with two tails, right? Also, hi. Hi! Hi, Rat. What's a Nekomata? This is a new language to me. If I'm remembering correctly, a Nekomata is a type of Japanese cat spirit. Yeah. Cat yokai. Oh, no, I'm confusing it with Bakaneko. Bakeneko. Bakeneko are the cat spirits with the two tails. I don't realize these things. I realized everyone massively procrastinates on everything. They don't really feel like it. Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of... Oh no, Nekomata still do have two tails. Supposedly. Yeah, no, I only have one tail. I only have one tail. What Furies of Bakaneko? Yeah. Bakaneko broke. Bakaneko broke. Bakaneko. Real. Okay, this is gonna look weird because my arms, you're gonna see like the disconnect between my arms and the book, but I only have one tail. I only have one tail. Don't look too closely at my arms. Legs real? Yes. The legs are real. The legs are actually real. That's true. Anyway, it's almost 4 AM. I need to not be live anymore. I've been streaming for 3 hours? 3 hours. This was a longer stream than I expected. I knew I was gonna go over a little bit, and that's why I started early, but I wasn't expecting 3 hours. That's what I get for not streaming during the day. And actually, no, I do feel my throat is starting to like close up. I've been resisting the urge to cough, and I think my throat is starting to be like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you for this. I'm sorry. You fragile mortal body. No, don't. I do this every time. I do not know how to finish a stream. I'm just so good at getting distracted and going down tangents. I'm the master of just getting distracted and talking about stuff. I be out here, I be yapping. No one can stop me. I honestly don't know why sometimes I don't just like not bother playing games and just like hit the go live button and go, hey guys. For the record also, I don't prepare anything. I know that some people like write notes of stuff they want to talk about on stream. I don't. I just walk into stream like, alright, what's up? Let's go. I don't know what I'm talking about today. We got some shit. There's probably some shit going on. Talking with me. I'm glad people find it fun to talk to me. I'm glad. I'm really, that genuinely makes me happy. I love streaming and getting to actually like talk to people. Sometimes I feel like stream goes a little bit like, I ended up privating the VOD from yesterday because I just felt like that stream went really badly. Many things just didn't quite go to plan. The game was really fun. It wasn't the game at all. But the some of the conversations had during that stream was Pure VOD collection is suffering. I thought you said you were deleting everything. Plevium, can you give me a sincere, straight answer of what is happening to the Pure VOD archive forever? What is the permanent status? You told me not to. Yeah, because I don't want you to delete it. Please keep the VOD archive. At least don't delete anything from it, at the very least. You don't have to add to it if you don't want to, but... Supposed to be asleep hours ago. Pie Dots! Go to sleep! Your other stream's good also. I'd like to do more Gorilla streams again. What happened yesterday? Was it... wasn't Pluvium. Apart from one comment that Pluvium made. Which I ignored. Oh. No, there were a couple of different things that didn't quite go to plan yesterday, and led to uncomfortable conversations. Starting to scrub VODs again, I was being too lazy to upload and I got irrationally pissed off at you for everything VOD, so I stopped. Start again if you want. For the amount of time you can just auto-save your VODs by spending 10 minutes setting it up. Wait, I barely ever private VODs. I only do it occasionally when I feel like a stream went really badly. That's the only time I private them. I'm embarrassed. Demons again. Demon repellent like salt. Every time you do it makes me go grr angry emoji. So I'm sorry for making you go grr angry emoji. I just... Sometimes it's because I feel like I said something yab. Sometimes I feel like I just went completely off track. Sometimes... Make me go grr angry. No, I don't want to. You know, Pluvium, for all of your irrational tricksterness, you know that I don't dislike you as a person, right? Said something. Yab. This one is a new word. Yab or yabai is it means dangerous. It means like something yab. It's like, oh, it's a bit spicy. It's a bit controversial. Not controversial necessarily. It's like dangerous, or it means a lot of different words. But normally when I use it, I mean kind of in terms of it's something that I don't think represents me very well. What happened to Purity posting my art to spite me? I don't believe it. Posting your art to spite you? I don't post your art to spite you. I keep your art because I value everything that anyone has put time into to make of me. And I put everything on my toy house because I wanted everything all in one place, although I do need to update it with like more recent stuff. Heathcliff coded? Who's Heathcliff? I don't know who that is. Ah, no, I need to finish stream. Wow. We will continue conversations. Best thing about English is tons of... Yeah, yabai is Japanese. Yabai is Japanese. Sorry. Famous British novel Wuthering Heights, also a Limbus character. Oh, I see, okay. Well, I mean I see, but I don't understand, but okay. I've never read Wuthering Heights or played Limbus Company. I'm gonna go. Before I get any more distracted. It was nice having another reading stream. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done a reading stream. Sorry about that. I'm gonna click through this VOD late tomorrow and see if my voice sounds normal, and if my voice does sound normal, 1984. We're about halfway through. I do need to finish it. Hope you get some rest tonight. I will. I'll get some rest at some point, eventually. Second best thing about my English is ability to easily absorb any words from other language. The most countries say I make it. Oh my god. I I think it's a little, I think maybe some people think it's a little bit cringe, but I do like the kind of like fusion of using some like Japanese words for VTuber stuff. It makes it feel like a little bit more distinct from just like real life. I'm getting to. Okay, wait, I'm going. I'm going. I gotta leave. You just stop neglecting YouTube. It's okay. I'm only here occasionally, so it's okay if you neglect it a little bit. But yeah, thank you for coming to stream tonight. I hope you had a good time, whether you were here for the reading. How is your view? It's that good! I'm gonna get you! I'm gonna get you! Not good. It's not going good, actually. It's going really bad. I've actually gone back to my main just because I feel so embarrassed of how badly it's going, to be honest. So ask me about it on Monday. Ask me about it on Monday. Maybe I'll play RuneScape on Monday. I haven't decided yet. Okay, anyway. Good night! Should I get into RuneScape? If you're not... If you want to, if you're just gonna hate it the entire time, then no! Sincere opinion. Play games you like. Don't play games you don't like. Do things you enjoy. Don't do things you don't enjoy. That's it. That's the whole thing. That's the whole everything. Good night. Onyasumi. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for being a delightfully distracting set of people. I do appreciate you guys who come along to these reading streams. And VOD viewers sometimes. Yeah. Good night. Onyasumi. Onyasumi. Bye 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 bye. Where's my ending screen? There it is. Beam.